Hey, here on Law Talk, we've often talked about the various regulations, the code of conduct, professional code of ethics that governs lawyers. Are there other rules that govern lawyers? How about when a lawyer files a pleading in a court? And now when we talk about a pleading, those of course are the arguments that are on paper that are filed with the court that is usually used by the court to make many of its rulings. How about those pleadings? Are they governed by rules? Well, you betcha they are governed by rules because many times there are page limits as to how much you can give the court because the court doesn't want to be overwhelmed with tons and tons of paper. Also, how the actual pleading should be formatted in terms of where certain things should be. Okay, is that taken seriously? Are all those rules regarding what the paper needs to look like taken seriously? Well, you bet you it is, because let's take a look at a real case. And in that real case, we had a federal district court in Manhattan that had a case before it involving a trademark infringement with Amazon Web Services. And the lawyers who were representing Amazon Web Services submitted a pleading, and the pleading had a 24-point spacing instead of the normal, quote, double spacing. Now, the 24-point spacing allowed the lawyer to put a few more words in the page, and as a result of that, because of more words on the page, the actual amount of material that was submitted to the court exceeded the page limits. And as a result, the judge looked at the pleadings and said, guess what? You're in violation of the rules and you are fined $1,050, basically it was $1,048, because you used a spacing that was 24 points instead of the double spacing as defined. Interestingly enough, this has arisen before in federal courts. In Louisiana some years ago, this issue arose, and there the lawyers pointed out that the 24-point spacing which they were using basically was equal to what was used in the old days. In the old days, when everything was done by typewriter, and typewriters were uniform, whether it was an Underwood typewriter, IBM, or something else, the spacing that was double spacing on those typewriters was equal to what modern word processing considers to be a 24-point spacing. So why do people get all excited about this? Why do they spend so much time dealing with it? Because, worst case situation, the court can, if the pleading breaks the rules, throw it out and you're back to ground zero. You don't want that to happen. So if you didn't think lawyers had enough to worry about, if you thought it was going to be all about lawyering that was brilliant arguments in a courtroom, think again. It's an awful lot about trying to realize how much you can put on a piece of paper and whether that complies with the rules of court. I'm David Allen. We bring you this case, we bring cases every week so you understand how the law works.